This is my assignment 5, unit revisions in Rationale. I teach 2nd grade, so my unit was over place value. How do the tasks yield appropriate evidence of the identified understandings? Students had to use manipulatives such as base 10 blocks, 100 blocks, and 1 cubes, and physical movements to get a good understanding of place value. So in the very first lesson, I had them use the base 10 blocks to create numbers, and then compose tens into hundreds and compose ones into tens. And then we also used our bodies to make these numbers. So for example, I put students in groups of 10. Each student represented a 10 stick. And so when 10 students were together, they had the number 100. And then each of their fingers represented a 1 cube. So each student had 10 fingers times 10 students made 100 1 cubes. We also did sorts. So we would have a number, or they would roll a dice to make a number, and then they would have to sort out the standard form, the expanded form, the word form, and the base 10 form. We used write and wipe charts and personal whiteboards during lessons to write out the values in our place value charts. And then students also played games, matching, rolling dice, I have, who has, and number puzzles to deepen their understandings and get more practice. And then finally, they had some assignments throughout the unit to do in their own math books. How do the tasks involve a complex real-world application of the identified knowledge, skill, and understandings? I think that's practicing sorting skills is important for these students. We had discussions on why it's important to know how to use number words in expanded form. So for example, number words, they might need to know how to write those words someday when they write a check. It also helps them become better readers. Expanded form and connection to money. So counting out $100 bills or 100 pennies to make $1, or skip counting by tens to make $1. Practice skip counting skills, and I explained how this is things I use every day in life. And then working with partners and collaboration skills is something that they need to be able to do every day. How are a variety of appropriate assessment formats used to provide additional evidence of learning? For formatives, I have them give a thumbs up if they understand what they're doing, sideways if they almost got it, or thumbs down if they don't know what's going on. And so I use those signals throughout lessons daily. We used write and wipe charts and whiteboards so I could easily see what their understandings were, partner and group activities, and then individual work in their math books. For the summative, they had to sort numbers and match standard, expanded word, and base 10, and they also had to identify the values. How are students given the opportunity to self-assess and reflect upon their learning and performance? I used the Kagan strategies, rally, coach, and round robin during partner activities. So in order for a student to be able to participate in these, they really have to understand what they are talking about, because their responsibility in the group is to tell others how to do a math problem. And then using the thumbs formative assessment, they really are honest using their thumbs, and so I feel like they reflect just by doing that. Playing matching games and puzzles and other group work, they can reflect on how well they know the math, whether they are able to succeed in the game or not. Sorting the information helps them sort out what they have learned, and then we did quick reviews of previous learnings at the beginning of each lesson. Finally, some other revisions. My write and wipe boards, we used them the first day, and then some dry erase markers did not erase, and so that's when I changed it to regular personal whiteboards. Also, I would create a number words chart because not all students know how to spell every number word, and I think it's important that they know how to read these and write them. I would use large magnetic base 10 blocks on the board to show them visually how to create numbers using base 10 form. And also, when using the base 10 blocks, I would put them in small groups or put them with partners because it was difficult to manage all of those little blocks with 15 students touching them at the same time. And then students who are ahead of the group, I would give them maybe an extra assignment at the end of lessons because they tend to finish earlier than others that deal with working with numbers in the thousands. And then finally, for the summative, I would do a practice one as a whole group before giving students the final summative, and also making it shorter because a lot of them felt like it was pretty, at that point in the unit, they felt pretty comfortable, and so I didn't feel like they needed to do a ton of sorts.